Good afternoon guys and welcome. Pretty exciting times at the moment. As you should know, I've sold my big boat and my last little boat went late last year. So I do have a tub on the way which is currently getting fabricated as we speak. So what I thought I'd do this afternoon, we've got some pretty horrible weather outside, so chasing barras isn't an option this afternoon. So I thought I would prep my anchors for when the boat arrives. Now most of your ropes that you'll get in tackle stores usually have a thimble which is fitted to one end, but unfortunately the splice which is done at factory is pretty subpar. So what I thought I'd do this arvo is probably bring to you a bit of a lost art and try and talk you through step by step on how to do a splice. So without further ado, I'll hook in, hopefully you'll get something out of it, and we'll go from there. So to splice a rope, it's fairly simple. The things that you'll need are a nice sharp Stanley knife and a lighter. Important to have both. So the first step to splicing your rope or preparing your rope for splicing is that you need to ensure that the ends, okay, are nice and sealed, okay, and the way we do that, I've done it earlier, but the way we do that is get your lighter, run it over, and you'll see the fibres begin to melt. Wet your fingers and just dampen it off and push it into a point so it becomes a nice hard end to your rope. And what this will do is it'll stop the end of your rope coming apart, okay, and ruining the thread that you're going to thread through. So I've previously done the thimble to the chain. So what I'm going to do now is I like to fit a float to the far end of the rope. So if there's a case where you need to go out and quickly chase a fish because it's looking like it's going to spool you, or for any safety concern, you can throw the rope overboard. Okay, so the first step is separate the three fibres of your rope. Okay, I like to go about 200 mil. So you got 200 mil and you got the three fibres. And what we'll do is, obviously your ball's already on, is bring that around, okay, like so. So you've got it looped enough around so the ball's got some freedom and it's not going to make it too difficult for you to do your splice. Okay, now I like to get the three fibres separated like, so obviously you've got three, like so, okay, laid over the main part of the rope, okay. And I always like to start with the middle. So separate your rope, find one of the threads of your rope and push that through. Now what that'll do is that'll govern what you do with the next two lots of thread. So the next one will come in and you come around the back of that thread and push that one through, okay. What you're trying to achieve is you're trying to achieve all three threads moving down the center of the rope. Then the next one over and through and down, like so. So basically you've begun the splice of your rope. That's probably the toughest part of the whole thing, to be honest with you, getting that right. So you have the three fibres running down the main line and each thread evenly spread apart around the diameter of your rope. Okay, then from here on in, if you can see closely, you have one thread or one wrap going that way, and then you'll have the second. Okay, so the sequence of your splice is to take the loose thread and pass it over the closest thread or the next thread to it. So open up the second one, over that closest one, and through, under. And once you get the hang of the process, it's quite a quick thing to do. As you're going along, make sure you just keep pulling the strands nice and tight, because you want those fibres to gel. Give it a bit of a rub, just to get them gelling and fitting quite nice. And just keep the process rolling on until you get to the end. You can also see there the importance of making sure that the ends of your thread are melted together with that initial lighter. You can see how that's separated. It's not so bad. That's just an example of to make sure that you do get that done properly, because they can become quite painful if you lose one thread, which this one is. Okay, so you get to the end, again, pull it nice and tight, give it a rub. All that does is just gets those fibres nice and tight. Now I've left the ends, you've got about 20 mil left at the end. Okay, so it's important you do leave that 20 mil, because if you do leave them too short, then they're likely to slip back through the main rope and begin undoing the hard work that you've just done. That is a splice. Okay guys, so that's how you splice a rope. You know, it's a pretty cool little art to know and to have the hang of. Most of these pre-purchased ropes will come with a thimble that is already spliced. 9 times out of 10 that factory splice is fairly poor and not long enough. I like that bit of length, a good 200 mil down the main rope, and that way it's never going to come undone. So I suggest you just cut that off and retie it again. So until next time guys, I hope that helps you when you look at getting a new boat or fitting a new anchor rope. And until next time, tight lines.